Yeah. All right, let's roll.
Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're
the Bourbon Bros.
Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're
the Bourbon Bros.
You didn't even do it. Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're
the Bourbon Bros. All right, guys, welcome back to part 2 of our single elimination best of store picks challenge. And Zach, any thoughts on part 1?
Part 1 was fun. I think there was definitely some rounds that they were really close head to head, and then there was some bourbons that we had that were just completely opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to recap here, this is a completely blind tasting. Zach and I don't know what made it through the first round and what didn't, but because you've been following along, we're just going to start right here. Zach's going to put it up on the screen for you. These are the bottles that made it through this first round, and these are the bottles we're still working with here. So we're going to jump into round number 2. We're going to start with 1 and 6, 3 and 8, and championship round at the end.
Excellent. I'm really excited to see what comes out.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
All right, in our first round of the second part of the bracket, we're going to start with number 1 and number 6. Let's see which one wins. Start tasting?
Let's start tasting.
All right, out of these two that are in the semifinal, 1 and 6, we've decided that definitely 6 is our favorite. What was the standout, I should say, for you on 6?
Yeah, I think we're definitely in agreement here. Of the two, I think that 6 had a little more uniqueness to it. Now I'll say this about number 1. Number 1 was full-bodied, full-flavored, had all the really wonderful characteristics of a bourbon that I come to enjoy.
Yeah.
But it didn't have anything that made it super unique. What I really loved about 1, though, mouthfeel, hug, probably best in show. But for me, 6 just had such a unique characteristic to it, very fruit forward, I would say. It just stood out for me.
Yeah. And for me, this one kind of was a little bit special because from our previous video when we tasted these and gave our tasting notes, this one kind of brought me back to a time when I can kind of remember with my mom going to Hobby Lobby smelling, what is it called? Potpourri, and it kind of gives me that smell and that flavor. And so it's an occasion for me. Yeah. It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, and on that note, I would say that was probably the standout feature of this one. Was the nose.
Yeah.
I just felt like the aroma coming out of Cup 6 here was by far a lot more. It was a lot more available, a lot more.
The character just came through on that nose.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Zach, we're through the first half of the semifinals, and what do you say we wrap this thing up and get to the championship round?
I'm excited.
All right, let's do it.
So for our second semifinalist, we have 3 and 8, which you just saw us taste and smell. I think we have a real solid decider on this one. This one I think was pretty easy, just like the last one. I think.
Yeah. A couple of standouts.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on 8?
Yeah. So 8 is our decision. So number 8 will be moving forward here, and for me it was the 2 things. Number 1, this had a really nice oak presence.
Just
and.
heavy.
Yeah, and the other bit of it was I think it was mature. It was probably the most mature bourbon of any in the bunch that we tasted.
Great coat on the palate and everything.
Yeah, and I think it just had a real nice rounded softness on the finish, which I enjoyed. Typically you get an older whiskey, so I'm excited to see what that one is.
Yeah, for sure. That was the standout for me too. I don't have anything to relate to this. We both agreed that the smokiness off of this and the oakiness off of it just was
top notch.
Yeah.
So we've got our champions, or at least our finalists.
Oh yeah.
We've got number 8.
Number 8.
And we've got number 6. So we'll bring those together and head into the championship round here. Woo-hoo! All right, Zach, we made it. We're at the championship round. We've got mystery and mystery. Why don't you explain why we don't have numbers on these anymore?
So I think we're obviously gonna be able to tell which one's which.
Sure.
But we just want this to be totally blind. We don't want to have any reference of what we tasted in the past, just off of memory. So
yeah, and to clarify, Bourbon Babe has been our assistant, as we've referenced in the past, behind the scenes here. So The only person that actually knows what bourbons are here is Bourbon Babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey's the one that has been pouring behind the scenes. So once we've declared a winner, she'll tell us what bottle is which.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool. All right. Picked up some vanilla custard on that one that I hadn't picked up before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I was definitely thinking heavy vanilla on that. This one's, but I think I know what this is.
Sweet and creamy there.
This one's still like by far my favorite.
I don't. You know what? It's not as impressive as it was a round ago.
That's true.
I need to work through this a little bit here because I don't think that is definitively better than the last one.
I think these stack up really well. I think we did a good job of pushing through the bracket, the ones that we like the most. This one to me comes off very classic. This is what I'm looking for in a bourbon. Like I would have this any day and be like, that's bourbon right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not saying this is different, but this one it brings a little bit more that I don't have in a typical bourbon all the time, which is that little bit of like that heavy on the oak. Like I like the oak, and you get it in a lot of bourbons, but this one I feel is super heavy on the oak.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is definitely heavy on the oak. It is a very nice bourbon. I don't know that it stands head and shoulders above the other one.
No.
So I'm kind of struggling to determine if that is enough to make me love it as the champion of all. What I'll say about it is I don't know that I love the flavor more than I love the flavor of the other one.
Yep.
And I don't know that I even love the nose more than I love it more than the other one. What I do love about it is that it is full body and it's really soft around the edges.
Yep.
That is a very, very smooth bourbon. And if I had to make a deciding point, I think that would be the one for me. This does stand out in that regard.
Yep. Yeah, I would. This is definitely mine, hands down. I do agree that they do stand almost shoulder to shoulder, but for me, my flavor profile, this is something that I tend to lean towards more.
I would say I think we're in agreement here. We'll bring Corey in here, we'll bring Bourbon Babe in, and we'll figure out what we're working with here.
Yeah, sounds good. We made it to our two finalists. We have tasted them, we have sniffed them, we have decided on one. Brandon, which one did we pick?
Yeah, so it was a hard-fought battle. It was definitely a close call.
Sure.
And took a little bit of back and forth to make the decision. But there were some standout features of mystery glass on the left here. Bourbon Babe, what are we working with here? What number is this?
The winning glass is number 6.
Number 6.
6.
All right.
And what is mystery glass number 6?
Number 6 is the Four Roses single barrel.
Single barrel strength. All right, that makes good sense. That's.
I can't remember what store that came from, but I'm curious.
Yeah, that's Amon's. That's the
Is that
Amon's store
Amon's?
pick. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep, absolutely.
Good pick.
Also, the most expensive bottle of the bunch.
Yep.
So not entirely surprising that it won.
Yeah. Funny too is like this is the one that from the first time I had it, it really kind of gave me a lot of reminisce. So.
Yeah. Nope. It was quite wonderful. I think that the age of that bottle really stands out. I think that probably brings a lot of that roundness and softness we talked about.
Sure.
So that makes a lot of sense. The age and the maturity of the bourbon, putting two and two together.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm not surprised it made it to the end.
Not at all.
This was an excellent pick by Ingram.
Now, I guess the real question here is, what was the runner-up? What number were we working with here? What was the contestant?
The runner-up was number 8.
Number 8. Okay. And what bottle was that?
Yeah.
Number 8 is the Driftless Glen.
Driftless Glen.
Okay. All right. The underdog, Driftless Glen.
Where is that from again?
That's a Wisconsin bourbon out of Baraboo.
Wisconsin Bros. Wisconsin Bourbon.
Yep. Wisconsin Bourbon Bros with the Wisconsin Bourbon. We didn't know. I promise. That was not a ploy. We didn't set that up. Surprising. Yeah. That would not have been.
That out of the lineup, I would have not picked that out of the lineup if I had to pick two finalists from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we go back and figure out what we were working with along the way, it'd be interesting to see where some of the people, the front runners, if you would, made their exit. I got no idea where 1792 went, but that was my pre-bracket decision. 1792 and Four Roses.
Yeah, and me personally, I was really rooting for Elijah Craig because I picked that one, but.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. Kudos to Driftless Glen and Wisconsin bourbon in general, but ultimately the Four Roses prevail.